there, and thank you for joining me for this dose of virtual vitamin Z. As you can see, I have some confetti behind me, so that means there's someone's birthday here today, and it's also World Chimpanzee Day. So let's look and see whose birthday it is today. All right, so this is one of the 12 chimpanzees that we have here at the Detroit Zoological Society, and this is baby Jane, who turned 2 years old today. So happy birthday to baby Jane. Let's go over some skills and concepts we're going to be learning today. We're going to be talking about fine motor skills, experimenting, persistence. We may be using some observation skills, depending on if you remember or if you can recall how chimpanzees forage for food or get their food. We have to do a little bit of research. So some vocabulary we're going to introduce or reintroduce to you is going to be great apes. So here at the Detroit Zoo, it is home to 12 chimpanzees that are in the care of our amazing animal care staff. And you can see right here, they are in the great apes habitat. So what are great apes? You're thinking to yourself, great apes, chimpanzees, what's the difference? So the difference is that great chimpanzees are one of the 4 species of great apes. So that also includes orangutans, bonobos, and gorillas. And we also have gorillas at the Detroit Zoological Society. So we have great apes, and we have under those guys are going to be the gorillas and the chimpanzees. Now, the gorillas and the chimpanzees don't share the same yard. So the yard that you actually see the animal care staff in is right now is going to be the yard that the chimpanzees are in. So they're 2 separate yards. And ever so often they'll switch sides. So you see that the animal care staff is putting out a nice birthday cake. I'm not sure if you can see, but the number 2 is on there for baby Jane. Now, we eat birthday cake, but it's not going to be the same birthday cake that is going to be fed to the chimpanzees here. And everyone's going to get a chance to eat the birthday cake. You can see these guys hanging out on the rock there. They're having a great time. And her birthday cake is actually made up of pureed fruits and vegetables. So they put a lot of her favorite fruits and vegetables that are in there. If I'm not mistaken, the number 2 was made out of pureed watermelon and cherries. So a nice, sweet, cold treat in the summertime. All right, and we have another one of the chimpanzees here hanging out. They love to climb. And you can see way up top, we have one way up top. So chimpanzees and humans, they share some of the same genetic code. So they have about 95 to 98% of the same DNA. So that means they're really smart. They can use tools and create tools just like how humans can. There's some other species that can create tools to forage their food. Some are birds, but specifically, we're talking about chimpanzees today. But before we continue, I would love for you to join me as we sing happy birthday to baby Jane, turning 2 years old, as she gets her birthday cake. And we have a little crown to present to her as well. So my friends and colleagues created my birthday hat, and we have a little crown that we're going to present to her. More than likely, she won't get this. She's just going to get the nice icy treat today. So here's the video where you can see these guys. We don't see Jane yet in the photo and the video, but they're coming up. And she's going to be coming eventually soon. And we may also get a sneak peek of baby Zane. So if you're ready to join me, let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jane. Happy birthday to you. I didn't get a chance to warm up, so don't make fun of my singing. So they are enjoying their icy treat. They're hanging out. We don't see them using any tools right here. They're using their hands. So they're pulling that icy treat, that cake apart, and they're going for it. And you kind of see, I believe this may be Trixie that is going to be handing out the treats. And we saw baby Jane coming up from the behind, and she was loving her icy treat for the summertime and for her birthday, enjoying it. So even though she didn't get a chance to get there first, it's always great to share. So chimpanzees are, they consider themselves a troop, and they are a very close-knit family. So how we call ourselves families, humans call each other families, chimpanzees are considered troops. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the tool that we're going to be creating today. So this is going to give you a chance to use those fine motor skills. You'll need a rubber band, cotton balls or pom-poms, 2 popsicle sticks or craft sticks, a piece of paper, pencil, and you want to identify 5 light objects that you can pick up with one hand, okay? So we're going to kind of take on the role of creating a tool just like how a chimpanzee would. And so based on those items, can you guess what we might create? Gonna look something like a tweezer. So I have all my materials here. I have my 2 popsicle sticks, and I'm putting them together. And chimpanzees, of course, in the wild, they don't have rubber bands, but they can find twine for themselves, and they can wrap things around, or they can use one stick and make sure it's gonna be nice and clean, lick it really good, stick it in the ground, and pull out a lot of different insects on there. Or sometimes they can take 2 different sticks, put them together, and try and gather food a little more quickly. So you can see that I have the one cotton ball, I put it in the middle, and I realized that it wasn't wide enough. I kind of wanted a little bit wider. So I stuck 2 cotton balls in, and now you can see it's a little bit more wider, just kind of measured it with my finger. You see me kind of testing it out. So tweezers. Now we're gonna try our experiment. So some of the materials that I thought that I could pick up with the tool that I created, like a chimpanzee, was a toy. I found some paper, a bag, a pencil, and an almond that I had in my lunch. So we want to try this experiment out. You see, I created 2 columns. So I did the item, and then I had the question of did it work, yes or no? All right, you can see me here. I'm going to try my experiment out. Now, of course, chimpanzees won't have all these different items sitting around them, and they definitely won't look anything like what I have, but it may be some of their favorite food that they're trying to forage for. And our animal care staff, they do put forage out in out in their habitat. So you may see them kind of picking at different things while they're out there. They have different things like celery, carrots. This gives you a little bit of a different simulation of if they may have been out in the wild, what the tweezers may look like. And I'm going to play this again for you so you can see what it looks like when you're trying it out. You can see I'm squeezing the tweezers together. So it's almost kind of like 2 fingers that you're doing something. But maybe what chimpanzees may do sometimes is that they may find 2 sticks and there may be a hole that they can't quite get what they want inside of that hole. Even if they just lick it and stick it in, they may not be able to get anything out. So sometimes they may be able to try and put 2 items together and stick it in that hole and try and gather what is going to be inside of that hole to eat. And again, this is the very end of me giving you an idea of the simulation of what it may be like to be a chimpanzee when they're trying to forage in the ground. Now, originally you'll see me sticking the tweezers to the side that I created, like I kind of want to do if I was eating with some chopsticks. But you see me going straight down because I'm trying to act just like a chimpanzee and trying to see exactly what I can create. All right, so these are the results of my experiment. So was I able to pick up the toy? I was. Was I able to pick up the paper? I was able to do that as well. The plastic bag that actually has some items inside, I was able to do that too. A pencil, well, I had to use the pen, and then I also used a almond. So I was able to pick that up as well. I would definitely urge you to try some things that you think that you may not be able to pick up, like a chimpanzee, and you can try out your fine motor skills and your persistence. It may take a little bit of time and a little bit of practice, but I'm sure you'll get there. So let's just review some things that we did today. We talked about fine motor skills and using tools like a chimpanzee. We used some experimentation. We made a list of things that we thought for sure that we can pick up using those tools. And next time you might want to try some things that you think that you might not be able to pick up. Maybe something that's not too heavy, but that you can also still pick up with one hand. We showed some persistence. You gotta try and try again. You want to make sure that you're doing things over and over again. We talk about using your observations. If you have not been able to join us at the Detroit Zoo and see the chimpanzees that are in our care, forage for food or try and create tools, I would definitely suggest that you look at our Facebook page or you do a little bit of research online where you can actually see chimpanzees create some of those tools up close and personal on video. So I would say thank you so much for joining me for Chimpanzee Day, World Chimpanzee Day, and also celebrating Baby Jane's birthday. Happy birthday again, Baby Jane, for turning 2. And we hope to see you guys soon. Be well, stay safe, and see you soon.